Chase Jones.
Well, we saw a beautiful ice storm make its way through. Things thawed off, and then we started to see some of that flooding make its way through. Now, the cloud cover is keeping us pretty warm overnight, well above that freezing mark. But as I made my way back to the station, definitely saw every brine truck out there coating the entire road. So it definitely looks a little more slick out there than it is, but it's definitely a lot more safe out there than it looks. Now, we're looking at the temperatures all day, not leaving the 30s, and we're holding on to a lot of heat, relatively speaking, because the humidity values definitely make it feel colder than it is out there. 35 in San Angelo. Everybody else joining us in those mid-30s across the entire region. Take a good look. Sterling City at 26 degrees. Junction at 36 degrees. 10 degrees across the entire Concho Valley as this cold weather makes its way out. Now, you can sort of see the difference in elevation across the entire area. San Angelo at 35, Ozona at 34, and then you see those 20s snaking their way in across the entire area. We should see that reflect here in the humidity values. Now, they're well above freezing as well, if not hovering around that freezing point, while those humidity indices are in those 90s, if not near that 100% mark. Could see a frosty morning, and that's where we're starting to see some of that icing in the morning, looking out for some of that snow. That's where that late starts making its way in. Now, here's our concentration of blue headed off towards the east, and we're going to see cold air sink in across the entire United States, and that's going to calm things down. But this nice little hover of yellow, if not green, is going to show us the next storm making its way in, and the atmosphere is on the recharge. Now, here in the Concho Valley, we'll push up into the 50s, and then by the end of next week, we'll be all the way up near those 70s, but more cold air will make its way through by Monday. We're looking at the next setup make its way towards California. They have their eye on those wildfires, while everybody else will be dealing with winter weather. And here in the Concho Valley, we'll see some of this strong ridging all the way up into Montana. That's where we could push into those 70s, but we have our eye on that cutoff low because that could be the next plunge in winter weather. We're not out of it yet. Water vapor imagery showing you how this storm is getting absolutely explosive. You saw Haley talking about how much snow that they saw over the past couple 24 hours, and by tomorrow you'll probably hear her talking about it even more, while we still see some of these drier conditions push into the Concho Valley and off to the west coast, tracking the next wave of winter weather as we prepare for the sort of next week making its way through. Severe weather outlook sliding off towards the Gulf Coast region, but it is targeting areas like Houston, finally leaving Dallas. But we take you down to the surface. Look how strong this storm is now. It's been moving pretty slow, and the central pressure is sort of moving over New Mexico into the panhandle near Lubbock, but you can sort of see the clouds pushing out of the area. Nice little pocket of cold air sliding its way in. Now, I take you down into the region because we're really keeping our eye on that radar as it starts to continue to push out of the area. Nice stark delineation of cloud cover, and we're looking off towards the northwest because earlier in the week, if not yesterday, that's where we were talking about seeing some of that light snow make its way in by tomorrow morning. So here we go. We look at towards the north where we still see some of those spots of snow. So we're going to get down below those freezing marks before sunrise, and then by the afternoon that cloud cover pushes out of the way, but it will be a cold below freezing Friday night. So if you have to go out there, please bundle up. So tonight, going to slowly make our way down to the 30s, watching out for some of that light snow. Of course, seeing those wet spots, and if they ice over, if you have to go outside, please be very safe. Then tomorrow up into the 40s, clouds push out of the way. It's going to be a beautiful one. Winds will pick up out of the north, and then it's going to get pretty cold pretty quick as we drop all the way back down into those 20s. We make our way into the weekend, and we push up into those 50s, and we're on the recharge as we start to see some of that light ridging make its way in. By the end of the week, we're in those lower 60s, while those overnight lows push up from those freezing levels into those mid, if not upper 30s. Stay tuned. I'm over the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.